Right now, we take you back to that news story coming out of the East Rand, where we take you to our reporter, Patricia Visagie, who's in standby to give us the latest from that tanker explosion which happened this morning. A very good morning to you, Patricia. Thank you so much for your time this morning. So what is the scene like there right now?
Well, good morning. A lot of shock, devastation, and of course community members, business people, but most importantly emergency workers that have their hands full trying to obviously deal with this accident that took place. As you rightfully put, a lot of people that are affected, so it's a lot of shock, but the devastation is really something that one cannot put in enough words. I'm just going to give you a little bit of what we see there. It's a glimpse. You can see the emergency service vehicles there, as of course many of their members are trying to deal with the scene here. We are here where most people are, just to get the voices on the ground of people that are standing around trying to obviously come to terms with what happened here. Some of the people that you see here are locals. They live in the area. Some of them are worried about their friends and family that may have been part of this accident. So there's a lot of concern, there's a lot of worry on the ground, and people just wondering how exactly are they going to cope with what happened here. And really a situation that comes on the eve of Christmas. You can imagine this time of the year dealing with such a disaster, such a devastation. But just to talk to us more about some of the plans on the ground and the reactions from the leaders here in Ekurhuleni. I'm joined by Simon Lapping. He's a part of the Ekurhuleni Council. Thank you so much for joining us. You're very emotional and you're very taken by what happened here. Tell us what you know.
Well, I got a call at about 8 o'clock this morning, or actually about 7:45 this morning, that this had happened, and I was asked to come out. When I came out here, I arrived here shortly after 8, and what I've seen is just devastation. I have never seen such destruction in my entire life before. It looked like a Scud missile had just arrived and landed in Boksburg, right on the eve of Christmas. This is the day of birth of Christ. This is supposed to be a happy day. And here we have this destruction, and many people have been killed. I counted 8 bodies, of which 6 were adults, 2 were children. I'm sorry, I'm just very emotional about this. It's very painful to be able to experience something like this. But right now, things seem to be under control. Dems is here, they're under control. As you see, everyone's area has been cordoned off. And I'm sure there will be a full-on proper investigation as to what has happened here, and in due course. And because this is just unbelievably heartbroken for everybody around here. Thank you.
What are the most important elements that need to be prioritized in order to help everyone, to help the victims, to their families and so forth?
Well, I think the first thing that needs to be done really is that the area needs to be properly secured. We don't know how much damage has been done. They don't know how much damage that's unseen has been done. It's alleged that there is a gas pipeline running next to the railway line, which will be owned by Transnet. But we don't know what the situation is. Until that's been assessed and done, then we'll know a bit more. Communities are worried if they have to evacuate. I think we will just take guidance from DEMS, the emergency services, and then we'll just have to wait and see what they have to say, and then we take it from there.
All right, thank you so much. We're trying to get more voices just to get the feel on the ground. How do people feel who are standing around here? Some of them who might be living in the area. I've got a local pastor here also wants to talk to us. Just tell me about your feelings, Pastor, and introduce yourself.
Yes, good day. This is Pastor Khomutso Mapena. It's so painful. This is Pastor Khomutso Mapena. It is so painful. You see what happened? I was at home in Nigeria, And when I saw this, because I'm a chairperson of the Spiritual Crime Prevention Unit in the SAPS, so it was so painful to see. You can really see that some of the community members, they were just walking, so then they come across this incident. It's so painful. I'm offering a prayer to the family, to the loved ones who have lost their families right now. In the name of our Lord Christ Jesus, let them be comforted. Amen.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Let's hear from the community members. Ma'am, how are you feeling? Don't run. And you, ma'am? It's devastation. It's a heartbreaking accident that happened here. And I can see many of you have keen interest, in particular this time of the year, finding yourselves in situations like this. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling so bad to see people hurt like this. They have lost their members of the families, and others, they were just going to town. Unfortunately, they caught this bad accident. It's so bad to see people lying like this here. Even myself, I was going to see one of the members from the hospital. Then I saw the areas are all blocked here. So I didn't know what is happening. Then when I saw that, I was so traumatized.
And you, ma'am?
Ma'am, we live at New Beginnings Care Center, and when that last bit of gas came out, my kids are in the crash and we're just all running because you feel this heat and you think, is this the end? And then all of a sudden it's gone. It's like your whole life flashes in front of you. Your children flashes. The only thing you can think about is how does that people feel that's in that fire? And your heart just goes out to them and to their families. And we just pray that they will feel better in this festive season. And it's bad that it happened before Christmas, but we just hope and pray that they will all live through it.
Do you have any family, friends that may have been affected?
Luckily not, no. My other families are that side in Kempton and we are here, but luckily we were not affected at all.
All right. Let's just get one last voice. I think it's important to hear the voices of the people on the ground. As you can hear, the lady who just spoke to us saying that although they are safe, but they also felt some of the impact. And it just shows you just how dangerous this was and just how shocked the community is. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? What do you know? What did you see?
The truck was going that side. And the truck, when you go there, there's a limit of when you go. So the truck was stuck there. So when it's stuck there, it started to burn.
Did you see this?
I see it.
So you're an eyewitness?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw everything what happened there.
And how are you feeling? When you saw everything, what went through your mind? How did you feel?
It nearly killed us.
So how did you escape?
I escaped, Mama. You see, when happened that thing, the fire came to us. We were a lot of people there, and the fire was coming to us now. So
you ran.
Run away. What's happened now?
Well, the emergency service workers, of course, they are dealing with the situation. But as I just said to you, people here on the ground who some claim that they narrowly escaped this accident that took place, just expressing their sentiment, expressing their shock, and just talking about how traumatized they are. But it is important for us to obviously also speak to the emergency services, speak to the police to find out what's the latest. But we have also learned that some of the local hospitals, in particular the Tambo Hospital, is already overwhelmed with the hospital battling to deal with the influx of some of the injured people. Of course, we've learned that there already have been several deaths that have been reported and recorded from this particular accident scene, and the numbers of fatalities are expected to rise. Once again, just reflecting on how serious and how devastating this is. So we'll get an update from emergency services. We'll also try and bring you more close-up visuals on the other side of what is happening. We just wanted to prioritize the voices of the community members around here, some of them being witnesses, some of them just expressing their sentiment, and just hearing what are the plans on the ground to in particular help some of the people that are here. You heard Mr. Simon Lapping, who's part of the Ekurhuleni Council, talking about possibilities of evacuating some of the residents who may be close to the crime scene, and the issue of the hospitals. Of course, nearby hospitals will also have to step in to help with the number of injured people, and the matter of counseling to some of the family members who are also battling with this accident. So from now, we toss it back to studio. We'll come back to you with more updates.
Now, quickly, Patricia, before we let you go, we've seen there you getting some accounts from members of the community, affected people alike as well, and some have been battling to contain their emotions, which is totally understandable at this particular point in time. Perhaps if you can just also describe that particular stretch of the area for us and talk to us about what kind of an area is that place where you're stationed now?
Well, the area is an old community. We'll just show you the visuals. It's an old community. It's close to the Boksburg station. The accident scene is at the Boksburg station. We understand, of course, the truck collided with a bridge that is at the train station. That is where the accident happened. It also looks like a semi-industrial area. So you can understand it is a place that accommodates a lot of workers in particular. On the other side, you have the municipal offices where people pay their municipal accounts. So it is a small town, but on this particular area close to the Boksburg station. But I have a lady here who's been signaling. She just wants to say something. What is it that you want to say?
No, I just want to say that it is very, very sad what has happened today. My husband is a doctor. When I woke up and I see that the bed was empty, and then I got the messages from my husband that I am in Tambo Memorial Hospital. It is an emergency, and he came here to see the situation and to help the patients. But it was really very, very sad what has happened. We can't blame this time. It is just later on we can say something on it, but at the moment it's really very, very sad what has happened today. And I think that everybody must help, and they must come and help the community. And as the doctors are called on the duty, off-duty doctors also came here to help the patient, and it's very, very sad, Yeah. So
has your husband shared with you what the situation is in hospital?
Yeah, it was very critical situation. Even the casualty, and they make the wards were empty now because the patients were there, and now they are just helping, and it was critical situation, and they are helping the patients now. And other doctors were called also by the CEO of the hospital, and then they are just until now they are just working there voluntarily because the situation is not yet under control.
Have you guys in this community, have you dealt with something like this before?
No, not really. We haven't.
This is big shock.
This is big shock, and especially nearby the Christmas, and people are shocked what has happened. And they said that the driver, it was stuck. The tanker was stuck under the bridge, and we can't say the right what happened in a right way. So, yeah, it is really.
We always hear the devastating stories about trucks, reckless driving, speeding, and so forth. And this is another incident similar to that about how dangerous trucks are. As a resident, a citizen, when we talk about the issue of trucks. Having observed this, listen to what your husband told you.
Actually, it is not only the trucks, but I think the whole situation in South Africa. This time, South Africa is burning, and this is called not the trucks problem, but the maintenance problem. Basically, we can blame that this is the maintenance problem of each and every truck or every department. Actually, I did not tell you that I am the chairperson of Muslim Democratic Party. My husband is a doctor. It is a newly registered party. Last year, it was approved by the Election Commission. So that is is why I am here to see the people, what is happening, because this is really very shocking. First time we are seeing all around this thing. We haven't anything shocking we haven't heard before. You see, so really it is disaster. It's a big disaster for the people of South Africa.
All right, thank you so much there. You know, you can hear the emotions, you can hear the pain trapped in many people's voices as they're trying to give us, you know, just their responses of how they are affected, how they're feeling, and how much shock they are. It's almost like it's not real for many of them. And again, every voice just talking about this time of the year. It's Christmas Eve. We're supposed to be happy. It's supposed to be a mood of festivity. And now this community finds themselves gripped, engulfed by devastation, by pain. Some of them have lost their loved ones. They've lost their children. And this begs the question, how are they going to enjoy their Christmas having to deal with this, even if they are not directly affected? But just the knowledge that some of their neighbors have lost loved ones, some of their neighbors' families will go into Christmas incomplete. That alone has, you know, just created a situation for this community to say, but how does this happen? And I think the highlight again, it puts the spotlight on trucks, truck drivers, and really just the truck industry. We have seen countless times how many stories, how many reports have poured out into the public domain that reflects just the extent of devastation that is caused by trucks and truck drivers. And again, that is what happened here. And you ask yourself, how did the truck perhaps not know that it might not be able to go under the bridge? How did the accident occur? Of course, a lot of investigations still need to take place to get to the bottom of how exactly this accident occurred, and what was the truck driver doing? Was the truck roadworthy? Did it meet all the standards and so forth? In what condition was the truck driver and so forth? So a lot of unanswered questions at this moment, and with understanding it's still early. Emergency services, the police that are on the scene will of course give us the updates. And you know, as I stand here, I see a hand that keeps on signaling. There's another hand here. Sir, share with us, what do you know?
Ma'am, I was first on the scene because I went home, then my brother told me that there's a truck that's busy dumping because he heard the noise. So I was busy washing. I never acknowledged that it's a gas truck. After I washed, I went to my friend's house on the corner. That's when the first explosion started. Then when I ran, I saw flames. I ran to look for a driver, but I never knew who's the driver. I thought the driver is maybe burning out. I asked people, the people that were coming, where's the driver? They say, no, he's sitting under a tree. He's a Rasta. So I asked the Rasta, now why don't you phone the place that you're working for? He couldn't speak to me back. So we ran home. I made for him some sugar water. I gave him sugar water to drink. We found the fire department, and they came there. They were busy with the water, and then I went in front at the back of them taking a video. Then they even said to me, thank you very much. Took a video. After I took a video, my father asked me for the phone. When I came back by the gate to give my father the phone, the second explosion happened. That's when the bridge now collapsed into each other. Then I ran to the nearest car. He followed me for cover. Then when we got up, the first thing I was looking for was my younger sister and my father. My father was all right. My sister just got some bruises and scars. I helped the fat auntie, that skin was hanging. My other auntie, I fetched her by the shop, her whole hip collapsed out. And then from there, I came home, I saw our roof as a hole. And then I asked my father, now, what should we do? He said, no, just come out of the house and sit in the front. Basically, that's all.
So how are you feeling after you saw such a horrific incident that, you know, played out right in front of you? How are you feeling?
Ma'am, I feel brave because to even scared, traumatized, but at the same time I feel happy because none of my family is really hurt, and the people that I'm living for on this side are not hurt, and I'm living for years here by this house.
You saying that you gave the truck driver a sugar water?
Yes.
So it means that he's not affected?
No, he's not affected because he was shivering and wanted to collapse. So we gave him some sugar water. Even the firefighters, they came to us running. Water. We undressed them, we threw them with water. Came with a hose pipe. We took off the clothes, folded jackets. We spoke to the manager, a white auntie. She said, thank you very much. And then Yeah, we went back, sat on the stoop.
Do you know where the truck driver is? What happened to him? Where did he go after the big explosion?
That's the thing, I don't know where's he. I even asked him, they haven't you seen him anywhere, no one sees him, because I left him last with the guy that was wearing a green suit. But now this lady say the ambulance took him, I don't know where he went to.
How old is he, the truck driver?
I'm not sure, maybe late 30s, but he has dreads, long dreads.
In what state of mind was he when you observed him? Was he sober? Was he...
He was sober but scared, traumatized, didn't know what to do, where to go. Because the guy that was with him with the green suit even held his phone for him, then he put his phone here in his trouser.
Was he alone? Was there somebody else? Was he the only one driving in the truck?
I could say so because the time I saw the fire, I ran because I thought there's people burning. But when I saw him there, I asked him now, who else is there? He said, no one. But the white car, the guy of the white car ran to the car, took out his wallet and his phone, then he came back.
As a community, what do you need right now? What's your biggest priority with this devastation?
Our biggest priority is trucks should not come here because it's the first time I see a gas truck passing here. And from my side, a gas truck should have a radar whether you could go under the bridge or what. Even Coca-Cola trucks, whenever they come in front of the bridge, they make a U-turn and then they come back. It's the first time after so many years we see a gas truck passing here.
And what does that tell you? I asked the other lady, about trucks. We always see the massive accidents, the massive lives lost due to, truck negligence. When you saw that and you've watched how other trucks actually make a U-turn because they can't go under that bridge, what did you think? What went through your mind when you just saw the risk that the truck driver took?
Whatever went through my mind, I thought that maybe this truck driver is doing something dodgy or he's going maybe to deliver oxygen to the hospital because Reclaim's truck got stuck there as well. There has been floods, people died under the bridge. My brother found bodies before they're in the bridge. But this thing of a gas truck driving under there is the whole first time we see it.
And that's really, I think, what we're all wondering about. How did this truck actually drive in that direction? And here you've got an eyewitness, somebody who saw everything from start, who just gave us a very graphic description of what he saw, how he and his father tried to help people, from even the firefighters who were caught in that blaze, and they tried to help them. And these are stories that you really cannot make up when an eyewitness tells you so much emotion, so much graphic detail as to what exactly it is that they saw. And I think most importantly, as he's saying, that they've been living here for many years and they've never witnessed a truck of that magnitude trying to drive past that particular bridge. And as I said, of course, investigations will have to get to the bottom of what happened here. Proper interrogations will have to be concluded so that everybody knows. But I think the attention goes to the community members and the affected families. What exactly is the help that will be given to them right now? For now, let's toss it back to studio.
Right, Patricia, now looking at some of the videos as well as some of the clips that are making the rounds right now in circulation. I mean, you can hear those chilling screams from some of the people that were involved in this particular accident. Do we know exactly what time are we expecting an update from emergency services on that side?
Well, we haven't had contact with the emergency services on that site in terms of getting the update. They were just telling us that they're busy with the number of, the body counts, and right now they just making sure that they're securing the area and getting the community members away. So we'll bring you that update from, of course, the emergency services. Try and speak to the spokesperson to just bring us into the picture. What is the latest, the proper stats? There are, of course, reports that are making the rounds that a number of people have died already. We've heard that the hospitals are already packed to capacity. Doctors and other medical personnel have their hands full. So we will try and get that interview from emergency services to just give you a proper update from them as to what is happening. But as I said, the priority was to get the eyewitnesses, the people who were first on the scene, like the gentleman that we just spoke to get the community members to find out exactly how do they feel, what are their emotions, what are their needs at this hour. And as it is on the eve of Christmas, what does this mean for them, when they're supposed to be happy and now they find themselves dealing with this great sorrow, this shock, and just the trauma that is flowing through this particular community. Now, I just want to show you this house. The gentleman that we just spoke to was saying that this is his family home. They've been living here for years, and that's the gentleman who told us that they see trucks, in particular some of the soft drink trucks that pass here, and they've always, all these years, observed the trucks making a U-turn, and they never attempt to go past that particular bridge because they're too high. And him saying that today it was a first for them. They were left shocked when they saw this truck actually attempting to go past this bridge, although it was very clear that it is too high. So that is the type of stories that are flowing out here. But we will bring you more updates just to, get the right pieces of the puzzle of what is happening here, what are emergency services saying, what are police saying, and maybe also try and speak to the families of the victims if we can get access to them to hear, how are they affected, how many of their loved ones may have passed on due to this accident, and what are their needs, what do they need as we are about to usher in Christmas.
Visagie is our reporter out there on that story for us, monitoring developments coming out of the East Rand. Now, we also understand that the Gauteng Premier will address the media at midday, particularly when it comes to the story. So he will be able to give us further updates as well as some of the developments coming off that particular story.